Getting the Ponsagat tag this year, I was really excited for a couple of reasons. I know how hard it is to get a tag in this area. The other thing that was really exciting is that I brought my friend Coop, which she's one of my best friends and a mother of 4 that I absolutely love just being around. And she approached me and wanted to learn how to hunt. And I said, well, if I get a tag and the opportunity comes up and presents itself, I'd love to invite you.
I am very familiar with shooting a camera, but not very familiar with shooting a gun. I've always been interested in hunting, but I've never had the opportunity. I didn't grow up in a hunting family. My husband doesn't hunt. It just never seemed to present itself, and it seemed like an opportunity that I wasn't going to have. It also was a little bit intimidating. I feel like the world of hunting was just a different world from mine. When we met up with Brady, it was really fun to be around, and I knew right away that we were going to have a great time together and have a great hunt. Very knowledgeable, had great intuition. I knew that he was going to do a good job by Cari on this hunt.
So I met Brady from Wade Lemon. He'd been scouting and had seen a big one, and they just had an archery hunt prior, because this is a muzzleloader hunt. A hunter had a tag for archery, and he ended up seeing that big deer, and he shot too high and wounded it. And Brady told me that he watched it, and they tried to find it a few days later, and they did end up seeing it, never could get close enough to it. And he said he watched it enough, he felt like it was alive and doing good and eating and healthy, and he said, if Cari, when you come down, if that happens, we're gonna go after this deer. The next morning we got up early and got up there before light and just kind of waited till the light showed up, and then we saw some deer. We saw a lot of does and some small bucks, and there was probably, can't quite remember, but at least around 30 throughout that whole mid-morning, and just not him. And so we decided we were going to walk up around in hopes that maybe if he is in the area, he's just hunkered down, and maybe we can walk and find him, and we'll get the opportunity. So as we were walking, we smelt something and got closer to it, and there was a lot of trees and it was thick, but ended up down in a little type of a draw. Mm-hmm.
He was a 3x4 last year on this side and just had a little kicker. He blew up this year. Yeah.
This is a part that sucks when you see something like this, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. With that little hook-up beam is bigger than we thought.
Mm-hmm. It's a big deer. It's a big deer. Hunted real hard, scouting for him prior to the hunt, and then was able to obviously find him dead opening day of the hunt, which is a very unfortunate deal. But the nice thing is that hunter will receive them horns, and that deer will be, on his wall, and it'll be an amazing deal for him. And it was great for us to be able to bring that closure to that deer. After that, we gathered our stuff, went to the total opposite end of the unit after another target deer that we'd seen that's typical, and one that we'd pre-scouted and found earlier in the velvet, and we was able to get in there the very first night after moving from the other end of the unit, and right where he was supposed to be, right where we'd seen him earlier in the season, and we got a glimpse of him right before dark.
Yeah.
I had seen pictures of the buck that we were looking for, and I was pretty excited because I don't know a lot about bucks, but the one I saw was like, whoa, that's a big guy, right? Like anything with horns is a big guy to me, but this guy was substantial. It was just really fun to go out and glass. I've been learning so many different terminologies with hunting, and that's been kind of a cool thing, but it was really fun to go out and glass and scout. It was kind of like, where's Waldo? I love finding the shot, like in photography, finding that perfect, that sweet spot, that shot, that interesting moment, that thing. And so glassing was actually a lot of fun for me.
So the Paunsaugunt deer herd is a migrating deer herd. They migrate miles and miles south every winter. Being extremely hot in the 80 degrees with a full moon, there was very little migration, and that's where that pre-scouting paid off for us. We wasn't looking for a deer that we hadn't seen. We was looking for a deer we'd actually had seen. You know, we rely on our glass a lot. We rely on good optics, a good tripod, really take your time glassing instead of just driving the roads and trying to find them from the road. They're hard to find. They're hard to see even when they're by the roads. You gotta spend your time behind the glass and just spend time in the hills learning how to identify a good mule deer and what a mature buck looks like, and identify the right areas that should hold deer, you know, good feed, good quality feed.
Went to a little spot where we could get a little bit of advantage, and we just looked. Nothing came out. We didn't see anything, but it was a beautiful morning, and so we decided, well, let's just kind of go up a little ways and move to a different area in case for whatever reason he moved. Within probably 10 minutes, he says, "There's the buck." And I immediately put up my binoculars and I said, "I see him." With the tall grass and the tall brushes, it just wasn't good. I just didn't feel comfortable about it. So I just kept waiting and watching, and then they kept moving. So then we would then sneak up and go a little further, and we'd set up again, and they'd regroup, and they were just kind of like messing with each other. And so I didn't have a shot, so I just kept patiently waiting. This happened for like almost a half an hour.
When we were stalking the deer, it was just so exciting. Like I was like shaking. I couldn't even hold my camera still because I was so excited. And then I was really worried, like, what if I mess up and I make too much noise or I blow it, you know? So I was trying to be really aware of myself. Watching Cari set up that shot and just like experiencing her patience and her persistence. She is somebody who lives out her faith, and she knows that God is on her side, and that was just so powerful. And to know that, like, in the end, all the glory is to God, and she knows it and she gives it, and she's just a vector, and really everything that she does is for Christ, and you can just feel it. It just exudes from her. So when she set up and took that last breath and took that shot, it was just perfect.
Nice shot. Congratulations.
Coop,
Holy bucket.
come and give me a hug. Put your camera down.
Hey.
I don't know how to do that. Oh my gosh. Also, I about peed my pants when you shot.
You did? Why? Because I was loud and scared you? I told you it was loud. Plug your ears. I said,
Oh my Lord.
plug your ears. So did you see how hard that was? Like to literally like always keep calm and follow the deer and make sure you have that clear body shot, right? That perfect one shot, which is right behind the shoulder.
Yeah. Crazy.
And then with all the other deer, you never want to take a shot until you know for sure you're good to go. It was fast. Wow. Look at that beautiful typical 4x4, tall in the back. These G2s are beautiful. Oh my gosh. Wow. Old, mature. Wow. When I walked up to my deer, I was like, wow, he's wide. He looked wide, but he was wider than I thought. It's hard to find a symmetrical mule deer, let alone a wide symmetrical mule deer. That really makes me just appreciate, you know, this whole hunt. You know, my friend Coop that was here and Brady that was my guide. It just makes it even better.
So the icing on the cake too is as we approached this deer, this sweet family pulled up and they were so excited for us, and the dad asked if his little girls could come in and see, and these two little towheads come trotting out there with their dad, and it just filled me with joy because I have 4 kids of my own, and they're all a bunch of blondies, and made me miss home a little bit, but also made me really excited that this dad got to share something like this with his daughters, and then his wife and their baby boy were in the car too, and they came out, and it was just what a cool moment, in that I was here to learn and experience something that I never had the opportunity to do growing up, and that this dad was creating this opportunity for his family. We couldn't have orchestrated that any better, and that's just another reminder like how intentional God is and how he puts you in the situations that you're in for a reason.
See if you can find where I started. Right there.
Okay, up here.
Yep.
Another cool thing about this hunt was I got to see the whole gutting process, which maybe some people are like, oh, that's, who wants to see that? But I'm just fascinated by the body and bodies, and I loved my anatomy classes. It was really cool to see the whole process. And I got to, you know, get my hands dirty a little bit. I guess it could have gone south real fast if I would have just nicked the wrong thing, but I thankfully didn't. Anything that I could get and spot in my binoculars was lovely, but it was a real treat to be able to actually have my camera with me and be able to capture the beauty that I was seeing all around me. Being a professional photographer is absolutely amazing, and you get to see so many amazing things, but to come into a new landscape and get to really get curious again and explore and find out what else I can see through my lens. I would love to encourage people who are even remotely the slightest bit interested in hunting, but have a little bit of reservation because it's not something that's familiar to them or anything really, to just dive in and just do it, because the only way that you're going to learn is to do it. You only grow in the uncomfortable, so put yourself in situations that create growth in your life. I'm tickled pink. I had the best experience. I cannot wait for the next hunt. I can't wait to learn more. I can't wait to teach my family. I'm just on cloud 9. This was such a great experience.